I was watching David Suzuki on television just the other night, and he scared the bejesus out of me. I used to be pretty much in favor of oil and gas development, thinking it was pretty important to the economy of Western Canada, but David was talking about all the problems with fracking to get natural gas, and the fact we have to pump all this water down into the ground, and all the problems he sees with that. Natural gas coming up through water taps and all the rest of it. So he makes it sound pretty bad, and I have to admit now I'm convinced we're going to have to give up on natural gas and the tar sands too. He talks about all the problems developing the tar sands. So we'll have to adjust. Now I'm almost 70, so I suppose I don't have to worry about it as much as maybe some of the others. But on the other hand, I have some experience. When I was a young lad, 20 odd years of age, Schumacher, not Alex Schumacher, what was his first name? In any event, he's the author of Small is Beautiful. Economics as if people mattered. And that was the big thing back in the 60s. Lots of hippies were around then, and some of the talk that we're having today was quite prevalent back in those days as well. And I must say that I certainly read Schumacher's book more than once. And I had an occasion to work in Africa. So we developed some solar heaters for the people in Lesotho to cook their food, so they wouldn't have to have any. There's no coal in Lesotho, and all the trees have been cut down. So really, the only way they had to cook was to find brush. But we were able to develop some solar heaters, which enable them during the course of the day to cook their food. So there are ways of adjusting, and I grew up on a farm. I think I can go back to the same kinds of ways we lived then, because originally we didn't have electricity. People had windmills to to generate power, and these windmills they had lots of batteries, so that when the wind blew, it charged up the batteries, and then we would use the batteries to usually run one light in each house. So we can adjust. It won't be easy. Teachers in BC who have been promoting this are going to have to add some more courses to their curriculum talking about how to do this. Of course, we won't have any cars at all in the Lower Mainland, because if we cut off the gas and the pipelines, because there was just another leak in that. Is it the Kinder Morgan pipeline that comes, or the one that comes to the Lower Mainland in any event? They wanted to twin it, but that obviously will not go ahead now. And there was a 6-barrel leak in the old one. It's been there 60 years and it's starting to leak. So that one presumably is going to have to be closed down as well. And if we don't build any more pipelines, and we won't allow tankers to bring oil in, then of course we're going to have to go back to the old ways, which means riding bicycles. So we have a big Portman Bridge, which was built to move cars. It's going to be too big, but it'll fill up with bicycles, and we'll have people will be able to get to downtown Vancouver by bicycle. But I suppose over time businesses will move out of the Lower Mainland, out of Vancouver, and establish themselves closer to where people live. Now, there will be some real adjustments to be made, because all the taxi drivers and bus drivers, of course, will be out of work. I really can't see how the forestry industry is going to be able to continue unless we have diesel fuel to run all of their equipment. So there's a big adjustment period ahead of us. And BC teachers are going to have to teach their kids about how to live without oil and gas. We're going to have to rely on wind. We're going to have to rely on sun, but we can do it. Now, I hope you don't find any sarcasm in my voice here at all. I certainly wouldn't want to leave the impression that I was being sarcastic. That's certainly not my objective at all. But I'm pretty convinced now by David Suzuki that we can't live with fracking, and we can't use the oil and the tar sands. So we've got a lot of adjustment to make. But I feel quite confident. The fact that I've lived through that when I was a young boy, I think I can adjust, and we'll just see how the rest of the world gets by over the next few years.